We're back, guys. 254 Talk, the podcast. Today is going to be me, your boy Cashie. You got Aramis and my boy Dabs today with us. I don't know if that's going to render the right way, but y'all are on my left. Maybe y'all are on my right in the video after it renders, whatever. But we back. We got UFC 280 to this Saturday in Abu Dhabi. Great headliner, great card all around. Main card stacked, prelims stacked. Can't wait to jump into that. But we got a couple topics we're going to cover today in our episode. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe, comment any topics you want us to go over in the future, and we'd be glad to go over some of that. So jumping right in to our topics, we got better career, Oliveira or Khabib? Is Islam following in Khabib's footsteps is the question. I'll let you guys take this one.
We'll go first.
I can go first. I'm kind of give it's going to also allude to something later that I'm going to have to say. So this is a spoiler alert for later. But anyways, I think that Oliveira is having a way better career than Khabib, just for the fact that, of who he's fought. He's fought pretty much the who's of everybody. Well, not everybody, but he's fought a very good list of top contenders for the belt. And then Islam following Khabib's steps, I think he's trying to, but I don't see him winning tonight. That's my spoiler. I'm picking Oliveira. But I just don't see him even winning the fight tonight. He can, but I don't see it happening. And I don't feel like on paper Khabib has beat, like, the record's great. And if that's all you look at, it looks good. But if you look at
how he got there, the streak that Oliveira is on and has been on, is I just feel like it's just a better achievement. I agree, because you look at the names that Oliveira just recently fought. It's already a better list than most of Khabib's career, because you go from Chandler to was it Gaethje or Poirier next?
He had Poirier then Gaethje.
Poirier, that's already, and granted,
that's murder.
Khabib beat Poirier and Gaethje, but
he quit as soon as he started fighting the elite talent.
You also look at how he beat him, when he beat him. Not to jump in, but so Justin Gaethje, he took Gaethje to the second round, submitted him. Oliveira put him away in the first round. Maybe I think it was like first 45, 50 seconds or something like that. I don't know. Y'all guys can it really hard for MMA fans can correct me if I'm wrong, but he did beat him in more fashion, I say. Like it was more fashionable. And then Poirier too, he beat him the same way, so he choked him out. I agree completely with both you guys are saying. Charles Oliveira has had a better resume up to date than what Khabib had. I think he beat Ally, Kenta, and people that aren't even in the UFC anymore.
That's one of the things that I argue too, is the Ally Quinta fight. What was Al 10?
It was close.
I think he was number 10.
Yeah,
and it was such a close fight.
Yeah, and Bobby Green starched him. And then you look at it. Islam just beat Bobby Green. Look at Oliveira's last win, Gaethje, and he did it in fashion. The resume does stack up. I will say Islam is following in a slower fashion. He's getting to the title slower than what Khabib did.
But he's also fighting nobodies, just like Khabib did.
Exactly. Padded the resume. Now they can use the excuse that, oh, no one wants to fight me and all this. Well, that's not the case. You had guys like Dan Hooker jump up and fight you. Sure, you beat him, but you didn't beat Tony like Oliveira did. He beat Tony. He beat Chandler. And get this, Chandler is still a top contender. Like all the guys that Khabib and Islam are fighting and beating aren't even in the top 10 anymore. Where's Hooker? Where's Bobby Green? Like these guys really don't even exist. So there's really no argument there, but it's great. It's a great topic to cover. So our next one is Volk. He's kind of left out in this because both guys made weight, so there's no need for him. But could he become double champ? Since he's fighting for the light heavyweight title next, confirmed by Dana White?
It's one of the things. Like I think if it was anybody else other than Oliveira that he'd have to jump up against, then yeah, because Volk's a great fighter. But I just don't see him. I don't see him beating Oliveira, so I don't think he's going to be able to beat double champ. And I'm already jumping the gun on the Oliveira fight, but
sure. Some of these topics kind of lead you to do that. But yeah, I think. And here's my take, and you guys could tell me what you think. I think 155, Charles beats Volk. I don't know how the Islam matchup goes. At 155, Charles wins. At 145, if Charles could even make it down that far, Volk would beat him, I think. Since he said, I want to go down to 145 and take your belt or whatever. That's not realistic, I don't think, by the weight cut he had. But I think if he drained himself that hard, he'd get beat by Volk because Volk's very fast. He's very he's well rounded on the feet. He doesn't tap to chokes. We've seen that in the Ortega fight. So it'd be a very interesting matchup at 145. At 155, Charles too much power, and then he's deadly on the ground. So that's my take on that one. What do you think, Aaron?
I think that to be the champion at any weight class, you have to truly be that, unless you're Amanda Nunes. So with Volkanovski wanting to play, that would be 145 or 155 champion. That means you're not a true 155er, that you're really just bloated. Like you didn't cut as much weight to make 155. Now, Volkanovski was also a very large man at one point, and you carry, strength with you. The only loss he has on his record is at a higher weight class also. So,
yeah, that's true.
I mean, that's a long time ago.
Sure.
But
here's a crazy, interesting fact that maybe you or the viewers that are watching this don't know, but the last time the champion at lightweight actually lost his belt was when Conor beat Eddie Alvarez for the belt. It's ever since then, the champion is either retired, left the belt because of they moved up or whatever, but a champion has not lost the 155-pound belt since Eddie Alvarez lost it against Conor McGregor. So interesting. I mean, and even this fight, it's a vacant fight, right? Like when Charles won the belt, it was vacant. Now that he's fighting for a vacant, if he loses, that still doesn't stand because he's not losing his belt. He lost it on the scale. So very interesting fact. I thought I'd leave that for you guys.
It is.
Our next topic here is Peter Yan, Sean O'Malley. This is a fight on the main card of 280. This is Sugar's biggest test, obviously. What's his chances on fighting for gold in the future?
I think he has good chances of fighting for the gold in the future. Because I honestly believe if he just sticks to a perfect game plan tonight, don't get engaged, don't, pop and move, I think he can win tonight, but I don't think him getting to the belt helps because I don't think he can get the belt.
Sure.
I don't think he can beat an elite wrestler. And that's like, if it is Sterling, I think Sterling takes him down, chokes him out.
If it's Dillashaw, then yeah, I think he has a great shot.
I was like, if Dillashaw, he has a better chance, but Dillashaw can wrestle too. He just, he's not wrestle heavy.
Right. That's interesting. How would that matchup go between a Sugar Sean O'Malley and a TJ Dillashaw, pending those guys win their fights? I think TJ would try to implement his wrestling because
he's smart.
Right, he's smart. He's very smart. He knows that Sean's got the reach advantage and the height. He's going to pick him from the outside, kind of like what Corey Sandhagen did, except you seen how that fight went. He put him up against the fence. He clinched him to limit those striking abilities. So, very interesting stuff. I think Sean O'Malley, if he doesn't win this fight, I'm kind of laying with Caleb on this one in the regards that he will never see gold. But I do think if he wins this one, and maybe he gets lucky enough to fight a TJ, he has a chance. Aljo, not so much with the credentials of backpacking people and stuff. But it's very interesting to see because the UFC is very good at doing this. They put the fighters with the contenders on the same card. Look at Mateusz Gamrot and Dariush. Those guys could potentially be fighting for lightweight gold after Volk and Charles or Islam, fights. So
perfect point is they're putting the Colby Covington Kamzat fight on the Leon Edwards.
London card. Yeah. Yep, that's a perfect example. They like to do that. They like to put the number one contender on the same card because they're on similar time schedules so they can fight each other in the future. Very good stuff. So speaking of future cards, John Jones, Conor McGregor returns. When are we predicting they come back? Who are they fighting and when, essentially?
I really think John will be back in December. And I think it's Stipe. Conor is a bigger guess, really, because Conor's been saying, I'm coming back at this weight class, I'm coming back at this weight class. But now, I don't know if y'all saw him the other day in his interview. He's weighing in at 190 right now, so I think he's going to be fighting at 170 for sure.
Sure.
I don't like Conor at 170.
I don't either. I
don't think he's big enough for 170.
He's not powerful enough. He hit hard at 145. He doesn't hit hard at 170. But I think I heard Dana say that he in his last, I think it was the Mac Life, he said that Jones most likely comes back in the spring of next year. So I doubt that they're going to make that deal for December.
No, because his last win was it Cowboys' last win altogether, or
it was his
it
Reyes.
was at 170. I know somebody who I've been wanting him to fight for years that just fought at 170. Tony Ferguson.
Yeah.
Make that fight happen at 170.
That's not a bad fight. That's not a bad fight for Conor. It's not a fight that I'm necessarily interested in because I feel like Ferguson's definitely waning, whatever the word correct term. But,
I think they give him Gaethje. I think they give Conor Gaethje at 170.
That's a murder.
I don't think so, man.
Both guys moving up.
Gaethje's gonna chop his legs. It's like setting them up because Conor's lead leg heavy.
Gaethje's moving up.
Yeah, they're both. That from what I've heard rumors, they want to do Conor versus Gaethje at 170 next year, early next year, February.
Amos always brought up a good point about that fight because I've dreamed about that fight for years. And he said Gaethje does this thing where he lets you hit him.
Yeah,
he's gotten better about it.
Yeah, he said you can't let Conor hit you too many times.
No. Oliveira set him down.
Yeah,
because we think that Conor still doesn't have that left hand, but even Poirier said he caught me a few times with it where I was like, boy.
Yeah. It depends on how he fights. Like if he goes back to his old like karate stance, he can use a lot of kicks and stay away from those leg kicks. I mean, he won't be so heavy like in his boxing stance, leading on that. You know, like Aramis said, on that lead leg. But if he comes at him like he did Poirier with the boxing, yes, then Justin will tear up that front leg and same situation all over. He'll get touched up.
Tell Gaethje that his wife's in his DMs and
yeah, I think Jones comes back for Stipe. I would like to see him fight Ciryl Gane. That's like my dream matchup, but I think Ciryl would starch him, considering he's comfortable at that heavyweight limit and he can move around and he's pretty much John Jones's kryptonite, I would say.
I don't think a Stipe fight's gonna go good for him.
Really?
I don't think the game fight goes good for him all because Francis is not a wrestler. But Francis wrestled the shit out of him.
Yeah, Francis is a freak of nature, though.
And so I think that Jones would really have his way in the wrestling department with game. And that's exactly what he can poke him in the eye and wrestle.
Poke him in the eye, wrestle.
Maybe
PDs in between rounds.
Yeah, maybe it depends on if he can handle the weight. Like Francis has been a heavyweight, wrestling heavyweights. I don't know if Jones is really in the weight room like that.
Jones been a heavyweight for 2 years now.
I mean, but he hasn't fought at heavyweight.
He's training though. He's in the it's very obvious he's in the working out.
He's hitting the treadmill and trying to get comfortable. But
I mean, he's training. He's wrestling. He's jiu-jitsu and he's doing rounds. I thoroughly believe that he'll be fine. I'm not saying that he's the same John Jones, but I don't think he's gonna have a problem carrying the weight for 5 rounds.
Sure. I mean, here's my hot take. I think it depends on where they fight. Like if they fight at a high altitude, like they did in Utah, then Jones probably gets gassed fast. But if they fight somewhere, that favors his gas tank or the altitude, I think he has a solid chance. Okay, so we'll move on. What is your guys' sleeper fight on this card for UFC 280?
You go first on this one.
Okay, I was hoping you would. My sleeper fight on this card is Volkan Oezdemir versus Nikita Krylov. I think this matchup is actually closer than what a lot of people think it is. I think it's stylistically it's a good matchup because Nikita's going to try to take him down. Oezdemir doesn't really get submitted. I think Anthony Smith submitted him last or whatever. But if they balance out and they stay standing, I think it's going to be a sleeper fight. It could be fun. Or okay. I could go as far and say my sleeper fight is going to be let me see. I have it up. It's in the like Google. I think the Sean Brady fight is a sleeper fight. I think the Bilal fight's a sleeper fight in the regards that it's like I'm gonna go to sleep watching.
Nah.
I think Sean Brady won that.
They both got to prove a point, so
I guess the next fight up would be a good one. Makhmud Muradov versus Kyle Baralho. Both Muradov has good hands, and Baralho is like he reminds me of like the young Conor in his stance, his karate. He bounces, he's good, like in and out. His submission game's really good. He's a contender series prospect. That could be a banger too. That could be my other sleeper pick.
It's on you.
Yeah, no, I said I agree. The Bilal fight,
that's
the
Oh,
Brady
yeah.
fight, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
he
could be.
said I was like, no, I think that's gonna be a good fight. They both have points to prove. My bad.
Sure,
They,
okay.
It's gonna be a good fight. I'm going with the Gamrot Dariush fight.
Yeah, it's a good one too.
First of all, I've just now started recognizing, like, noticing Gamrot in the past few fights. I like him.
He's a big lightweight. He looks like he fights at 170 normally.
And
The way
people always talk shit about Dariush's style, but I like his style too.
he's scrappy.
He's
I
good
like
at
it.
Because he's good at it. So I think that's going to be the sleep. I think it's going to be a really good fight.
It's a good pick. I feel like changing my pick. No, I'm kidding. I just think stylistically, Nikita and Volkan is gonna be a good fight. Let's see. Now we got should fighters fake retire? So we're talking about Kevin Holland here for those who have been asleep. Should they fake retire to get the fights they want, or has the UFC caught on to that tactic and won't let people do it? My opinion is if you're retired, stay retired, aka Henry Cejudo.
I feel like they should not do that.
No.
Shouldn't do it. And I think the UFC should put like, all right, if you say you're retired for at least a year and a half or 2 years. Like, if you're gonna do that, I think they give them 3 months from the time they say they're retired to be like, I'm retired. And if they don't change their mind within that 3 months, pull them out the pool, the testing pool,
sure,
and put a time limit that you can't come back for a certain amount of time.
Sure. And I also don't like the idea of somebody who wasn't ranked at welterweight retires and comes back and fights number 7 in the world. I don't like that. It just doesn't make sense. Now, I guess it does in the sense that Stephen Wonderboy is kind of getting old, and they're like, why are you number 7? We need real contenders up here, But if Kevin Holland can beat him, touche, he earned a spot. It's kind of like when Yuri came in, he beat Volkan for number 7. So I guess,
well,
go ahead.
I think Wonderboy's been having a problem getting the fights because, fighting him doesn't really do anything for you right now.
He just did a TV.
He was easy. He was an easy target when he was in the top 5 to get into the top 5.
Sure, yeah. That's what Bilal did.
He was cranking out fights, but he's not in the top 5 no more. It's not. So the risk versus reward, I don't think is there.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't like what Kevin Holland did at all.
Yeah,
and I think that I hope it's not one of the things other fighters start following. Because you see it in every sport, like a player will hold out for money if they don't get the contract they want and stuff like. I don't like that.
Let's not act like Fury didn't say he is retired for like forever.
And then come back and fight nobody.
No, I'm just saying I'm fighting.
Yeah, Connor and Hamzat did the same exact thing. Remember, Hamzat got COVID and
Hamzat almost died though.
Yeah, true. But Connor did. He had a cake and everything. I'm retired and come back and I get Cowboy Cerrone and I'm back in business. But that's Connor. Yeah.
I still can't get over the whole taking Kevin Holland down when Kevin Holland was trying to shake his hand.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you, just for anyone that even cares, I am not a Hamzat fan no more. I did like him
either.
But after what he pulled off, I don't care. I unfollowed him on social media.
I was really impressed with Kevin Holland in that fight, even though he lost.
He rolled his ass
He was rolling his ass off trying to get out of that.
It was close too. He was very close getting out of that, but
he was.
Hamzat's that kind of wrestler, yeah.
I hate Hamzat so much. You got me wanting Kobe to win this fight coming up now.
I just want to see it.
Because I think Kobe will tire him down.
I think so too. I think
Kobe's relentless.
He's the kryptonite. The only 2 people I think Hamzat has a problem with is Usman and Kobe. Those are the only 2 people that I think he starches Leon. I think if Hamzat were to fight Leon right now, he would starch him on the ground.
I think he'd wrestle fight.
I think Leon's about to get starched anyways.
I don't know about starch, but I think he'll.
Yeah, I think he'll get grinded out.
Hard. Sure. It's really hard because he lost all that fight with the first round. Basically, like it wasn't even close.
Yeah.
And then he pulled that kick off, so it makes you want to be like, he's like a paper champ, but we'll see.
Definitely.
We did the same thing to Sterling, and then he proved that he was a champ.
Man, no, Sterling's situation was way different.
Yeah. We're talking about needles and stuff here now,
Yeah, we're leaving that alone now because I talk bad about Sterling. Then when he won, I was like, all right, my bad.
Okay, sorry.
So what is the better card and why? UFC 280 or 281? I'll read out some of the main card here on the what I have. So 281 consists of Dan Hooker versus Claudio Puelles. For those who don't know, Claudio Puelles just beat Clay Guida by knee bar, and I think it's the 3rd knee bar in his UFC career. Frankie Edgar is fighting Chris Gutierrez, the one that basically leg kicks, knocks out everybody. Dustin Poirier, Michael Chandler. That's a banger, obviously.
Yeah.
Carla Esparza, Weili. Not really a banger, but Weili's good. And then you got Israel Adesanya fighting Alex Pereira for the third time for the middleweight championship.
For the first time in MMA.
In MMA, right. For those, yeah. But what card's better here? What we talking? 281, 280? What's the thought?
Boy, for me, easy 280.
Yeah.
There's too many fights on 281 that could be boring fights.
Yeah.
Adesanya fight, as much as you want it to be a banger,
it could be 5 rounds.
Really slow kickboxing
because
match.
we wanted a banger out of him and Romero.
The Carla Esperanza fight, we know how she fights, so either it's going to be a slow, gritty fight, or she's going to get beat up by Weili.
Yeah, true.
The Dustin Poirier Chandler fight, that's going to be a 2-round fight. Somebody
that's a banger.
The problem is, I already know who it is. I already know who's getting dropped in the second round. So
it almost smells like Dan Hooker is going to get knee barred in this one, and it feels like Frankie's going to get an easy win in this one. But that's my opinion.
Frankie's really good about taking people down off leg kicks.
Yeah.
As soon as you said that, I was like, oh, they're trying to get him a win. He's about to retire.
Exactly. I agree with you. 280 is the better card, but still, nonetheless, some interesting matchups to talk about on 281.
Hey, y'all heard it here first. Second round finish in the Poirier fight.
Yeah. Hey, if you predicted, you've predicted it. Hey, I predicted. Look, the guy right here. That's the champ. I predicted. He has a name. Okay. We have 2 more subjects here. Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva. That's coming up October 29th. Next Saturday, I believe.
Friday.
What's your take?
Next Friday.
Next Friday, even better. One less day.
I want Anderson to win. I want him to knock this fool out.
Same.
Just because Anderson Silva is my favorite fighter and all that other good stuff. I don't know how much to test for steroids, but if not, I hope Anderson Silva took all the good steroids. But I mean, it'd be cool if he knocked him out. I could see that if it goes. How many rounds is it? Do we know that?
No, but I got a computer right here and I can look it up.
I was like, if it's 8, I give Silva a good chance saying 8. But if it's like 10, 12 rounds, I don't think that plays in his favor.
Yeah, sure. It's an 8-round contest, sure.
Okay. Man, I'm going Anderson. I'm comfortable. I think he can even box him for 8 rounds.
I think so too. I'm
going Anderson too. But it's one of them things where I don't not credit that right hand anymore.
Oh yeah. No. It's real. And MMA and boxing are different, but I think I said this before.
But Anderson's a good boxer. He's done it.
DC caught Anderson Silva with like 5 overhand rights when they had their little match.
Yeah, their match. Yeah. It is. It's tricky. I am picking Silva. I do think he knocks him out. Basically only because he's more well-rounded in counter striking, and Tyron Woodley's not a counter striker. So
it's so many things. Like, he has head movement. Who else have we seen that Jake Paul's boxed so far have head movement?
And he's long. He has longer reach than Jake.
Same size.
He's comfortable at this weight now. He's boxed actual boxers in one. Tito doesn't really count. That was an easy knockout.
Knocked him out though.
Tito said he lost 40 pounds in 1 month for that fight.
Let's just hope him and Jake Paul don't have similar chins, because then it'll be a quick night for Anderson Silva. But if you're picking Jake Paul, you're probably a 13-year-old kid who likes YouTube and hasn't really watched any sports. I'm a big Silva fan.
I'm honestly mad. What's that boy's name? Hasim?
Yeah.
That he's already fighting Vitor instead. Like, what happened with the Jake Paul fight?
Ramen.
Oh, yeah.
That's what Shell calls him. Top Ramen.
Ramin or whatever his name is. The guy he was supposed to fight before. Yeah, don't ask me. I'm not a boxer.
Yeah. I think he looked dangerous when he fought Evander.
Evander Holyfield. Yeah, he did.
He looked dangerous. I was like,
TRT.
Boy, yeah, super TRT.
TRT Belfort. All right. Well, that's our predictions for that. Now we'll jump into our UFC 280 main card predictions. Whoever likes to take the stage will take the stage first.
I'm gonna go with Shakugan. I could be saying that wrong. The chick she's fighting Shakugan. She has a great record, but man, Caitlin looks great. Every time I've seen her, I haven't seen her look bad except for when she got beat by Shevchenko.
Boy, is there? Oh, Darius. My next. I was
Okay.
like, Darius, fight on this one.
Yes,
Yeah,
he is fighting Mateusz.
I've only seen Gamrot fight like once or twice.
Okay, that's
So that's more of really what I'm going off of.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Darius likes to wrestle, but he will throw hands, and wrestlers really are kind of the theme right now for winning stuff. I'm picking O'Malley. It's a hard pick, but he can win if he plays the range game. Like for instance,
It's a 3-rounder
Jan got outstruck by Sterling in that first round of both fights.
Yep.
And Sterling is not a striker. He just stayed busy. Busy, kept giving him different looks. And I feel like Sean O'Malley can definitely do that better. But also, Peter Yan probably knows how to wrestle and could literally just come out here and wrestle him in the first round and destroy him. I don't think
but he doesn't look for submissions. He could have taken Sterling's back like 30 times in both fights. And
he'll ground and pound. And we don't really know what O'Malley's chin is like.
Sure, he doesn't get touched much. If you look, go watch him versus Thomas Almeida again, that second round.
That was a good fight.
If Peter Yan can touch him, this isn't really my prediction, but if Peter Yan can touch him like Thomas Almeida did in that second round, Sean will go to sleep. That's my thoughts. He got touched way too much in that second round to be comfortable, but that's nothing to do with my prediction. But yeah, go ahead, bro. You got it.
Okay. O'Malley, I'm picking Sterling.
Okay. Dang, I think we're going completely opposite here on picks.
I'm picking Sterling just because Dillashaw can wrestle, but I've never seen him. Sterling is going to repeatedly try to take you down.
Yeah, he's gonna fight for that backpack. Sure.
That's what he said. He said, I'm gonna ride his back for 25 minutes.
Yeah. So I don't know if he's, I'm sure he's prepared for it. I'm sure he has the game plan for it, but
this
could honestly be the sleeper. This fight's putting me to sleep fight.
No, yeah, this could be. It could be. Heck, the Gamrot Dariush fight could be too. If it, they both will go to wrestle, but.
And then we talked a lot about Oliveira earlier, and I've already said that was going to be my pick. I just think, MMA math never works.
How's he get it done? And win?
I think just like he's finished everybody else, he hits him with a couple strikes, takes the bet.
Okay, I like that. Caleb, you want to go next, or you want me to?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, sure.
For the first fight, I'm going. What's your name? Furiat.
It's pronounced Mano Theo.
Okay, Theo. I'm going Theo because I don't like Caitlin.
Okay, we got our own.
Sure. She's a prospect. I like that pick.
I said earlier, I'm going Gamrot in the next fight. Yeah. I don't know how old Dariush is, but damn, he look old as shit.
He's 35.
Okay, well he never mind. He not old at all.
I have nothing better to do than watch MMA. Sorry for people at home watching this.
No, he old as fuck. I'm 35. I was like, what?
Well, 35 MMA age is kind of like.
No, that's like the twilight of your prime. All right.
If you're Randy Couture, then maybe.
No, Randy
Couture's prime was like 41.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was fighting for championships at 45 and shit.
Yeah, I'm like, no, you tripping. He ain't wait. He was still green then. Yeah.
This next fight, I already told Amos, I'm picking with my heart, not my head, because I think O'Malley's better for the sport if he wins.
I agree completely. Yeah.
But Jan in my mind has a way better skill set all around.
Definitely agree. Yeah.
But so I'm going O'Malley, but
Jan looked unbeatable to me last year.
Yeah, I did.
And then he got beat.
Yeah. Twice.
Well, the first time he just need him, and he was like, "I was going to try to kill him right there." What were you going to do then? Get the belt?
Yeah, who you going to get the belt to? It's vacant. It's me. I won.
He did. Yeah.
Anybody that knows me really well will know on this co-main who I'm not picking, because I think he's a snake.
That's his nickname. He is a snake.
Yeah, he is a snake. So I'll never pick TJ Dillashaw. So I'm going Sterling. I just hope he doesn't start acting like a clown again.
Yeah, it's already kind of bad. It's kind of both guys have kind of cheesed their way into no fans. But.
Yeah. And then this last fight, I just don't see how Islam could beat him. Oliveira's all around. He can stand up with you. If you take Islam's biggest thing is I'm going to take you down. Well, that's what Oliveira wants you to do in the first place.
Yeah, sure. He is so slick on the ground. I mean, he gets in hooks and shit that you don't even see happening, and next thing you know, you're next.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Most submissions.
Yeah, I like it. That's a great list. I'll go ahead and knock mine out real quick. First fight in the main card, I'm going with Mano as well. She's a really good prospect from Poland. I honestly think she could give Valentina a good run for her money if they fought. So I'm gonna make that hot take. I'm gonna take Mateusz Gamrot. Second round. Oh, I did first round TKO, by the way, for Minot. Second round.
Oh wow.
Second round sub for Gamrot. I think he's just gonna out muscle Beneil. I think he's just a bigger dude. He's a weight bully. So we'll go with that. I got Peter Yan by decision. I think Sean O'Malley touches him up in the first. The second 2 rounds are Jan's, and Sean makes it interesting. Like it might be controversial. It might be controversial. But you know they're in Abu Dhabi, so of course they're gonna be rooting for Jan. I got Needle Shaw by decision in the co-main. And then I'm going second round knockout for Charles Oliveira. I think this is my hot take too. I think first round is Islam 10-8. I think he takes him down. He's gonna ground and pound him a little bit. He's gonna hurt him a little bit, maybe cut him up. He's gonna wrestle him bad in the first round. But that second round, Charles is gonna come out, push him forward, and knock him out. My prediction. Take it or leave it. Put your money on it. However you want to do it. I've been pretty good. I've been pretty good on picks for DraftKings. Sorry, the last couple of weeks. So I'm feeling pretty confident in going into this one. Sorry, R isn't here to give us predictions, but I'll probably leave him in the.
Hey, shout out to my boy R. Got a show tonight.
He does have a show, indeed. So shout out to him. That wraps things up, guys. Hey, feel free to leave a like, subscribe for more content, MMA, sports. We got Cowboys fans over here. You can see me. I'm an Eagles fan. If you don't like the Eagles, then you might not want to tune in. But next pay-per-view, we'll be back with our predictions and another show for you guys. So hopefully this one was nice and short. Awesome.